flying into walls.
Just getting slapped around like a doll. And so it's like, boy, I could annihilate you with my mind if only I could stand up for a fucking second. And so I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, it's a great game. I think I will say this. I had always heard this, but I'm beginning to see why there are people who feel like the Souls-likes kind of started to lose their way somewhere around like Sekiro and certainly by Elden Ring. And I don't know. I haven't played enough of them to judge, but I will say the boss fights in this game a lot different than I was expecting and pretty cool. Like a lot more sort of like puzzly and environmental and like figuring out very specific like approaches and weaknesses, not just like standing. I mean, there are some fights like that, some very classic, like, you're fighting a big dude and you have to like roll behind him and kick his and like smash him.
Classic, dodge, whack, 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 dodge, whack, whack, whack.
But there's also like, the fight with the dragon god is easily my favorite fight so far in the game. And that's literally just like, oh shit, oh fuck, run, oh shit, get to the next place.
Yeah, well, because we weren't even trying, and we're a couple of nerds talking about how the first one was the best one. The one that didn't sell well was the best one. You must be listening to the Big Bang Theory podcast. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Kyle.
And we talk about this TV show called The Big Bang Theory. It's fine. Thanks for checking us out. Maybe you like that part. We just bear through it, We take it in stride. And then we talk about things we actually like, and sometimes we get carried away like we just have. Because wouldn't you know it, Kyle and I are both currently working on Demon's Souls characters, and it's so fun. That's like my relief game right now. I play my metaphor bad RPG game because I just need to grind it out. I can't not do that, but it is not good. And then when I need a breather, I'm like, I'm going to play this good fun game now where I'm a magic man. And I'm glad that you are accepting God so you can become more physically powerful.
Yeah, it's my barbarian traveled west and converted to Christianity is basically his backstory.
Yeah, I mean, that's... If the light finds you, like, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to accept it, or are you going to pretend it's not there? Like, that's... I mean, my guy, I think if you were to, like, hit him with a lightning bolt, he wouldn't feel it because he doesn't believe in anything, But that's what makes these games so fun. And also, the old puzzle bosses, they are way different, and it does kick ass. It's... I think I was actually frustrated at first because, I don't know, I wasn't accepting that there were puzzles. And so I was like, well, I know the rigmarole. I just got to get up near it, like get inside of its hitbox and then wail away on it. And these bosses are like, well, no, ding dong. You're gonna have to do like the lightest bit of footwork here before that part starts, but it's significant, Man, I wish that game had like any sort of like actual decent multiplayer, and then our odd couple guys could go, I don't know, fucking up mind flayers and whatever.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing, is I was like, oh shit, straight up mind flayers, like fucking little Cthulhu guys. Just
I don't know why they get away with it. I mean, it's they rule, but like, how are they allowed?
To be honest, I think the answer is it was a very Japanese game and no one gave a fuck, and now it's too famous. It's like, well, you let us do it for like 10 years. You can't come back on us now.
Yeah, that was something where I remember I played this game when it originally came out, and I gave up on it because it was too hard. But I remember seeing those guys and being like, well, this world is strange and unfamiliar, but I know what that guy is. I know, I recognize him. And he is as miserable and horrible as anticipated, so good job. Okay, man. time to
Just
fucking-
just rip the Band-Aid off. Make the transition.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a miserable enough analogy, but you did it. So, we are here to discuss a television show, which technically is the real bread and butter of our work, baby. And the episode we watched for this episode, oh, how meta, is the second episode of the 10th season, the military miniaturization. And the official and unofficial fan wiki summary reads, the Air Force talks to the guys about their invention, and Penny blabs to her work colleagues that Bernadette is expecting, angering her. That's sparse. I mean, it says so much, but it also leaves so many holes to fill. I like that one. All right, but I guess that's basically what happens. But also, so I have no proof other than my own gut. But I feel so confident that this is indeed the season premiere. That there is no connection between this and the last two episodes. I have a conspiracy theory, which is the whole second wedding was a bailout plan because the writers either couldn't figure out or didn't have the confidence to end the military weaponization plot on like a big crazy high note. And so instead they're like, well, bring in all the faces and we'll get a reason to put them in a room together and then we'll pick back up where we left off. Huh, guys? So those are my feelings. I don't know how that reads to you, but
yeah, entirely possible. Not the craziest idea I've ever heard.
Well, and also, I think we've long given up any sort of like rated reviews. I mean, not just on a system, but I think often we just don't even wrap it up that way. But to get ahead of myself, I genuinely liked this episode.
Oh, good.
At one point in my mind, I was like, this one's kind of a banger. I feel like I felt very satisfied with it's hard to call it a cliffhanger, but you know, where the military weaponization plot ended off in the last season, but was not really much of the finale, where as soon as they get this prototype up and running for their effectively a targeting system, like the second it gets running, they get a mysterious call from the Air Force that's just like, hey buds, want to chat? And so it ends with Dean Norris. I couldn't just like Uncle Hank Williams? No, Dean Norris shows up as the Air Force guy. And that's kind of where it ends. And I can very much, that's not like a satisfying ending. You know, that's like, ooh, what will happen next? But it's also like, well, that's not like, whoa. That said, in this episode, they directly follow up on that, which is things kind of go exactly as they dreaded, which is Dean Norris shows up and he's like, hey guys, so project works this way, cool. Well, we're going to need it this fast, and you're going to need to improve it this much. And if you don't, we're going to find someone else who's going to do it even faster than you guys. Well, and I have to add a little detail during this meeting, a part where I wasn't like laughing out loud, but I was thinking over and over in my mind, like, this is genuinely hilarious, is during this meeting, which is all the nerds, they've now agreed ahead of time that Sheldon isn't allowed to speak, because Sheldon obviously infuriates everyone around him just with his whole deal. And so this meeting, firm, no talkie-talkie. And so they go through it, and it's going fine, but then it kind of gets to the, hey, here's the bottom line, which is when, and the entire time for every question, Sheldon is in the back, just miserably squirming because things that are coming up that are like factually incorrect are driving him crazy. Like Star Trek being part of the Death Star being on Star Trek. I think his soul left his body just for a brief moment. But then all of this builds up. He blabs. He does all the corrections and all the feelings. But not only that, he says, By the way, those other hacks, it takes them 4 months. We'll do it in 2. Ha ha, eat shit. Thus committing the group against their will to force themselves into a ridiculous, intense schedule to produce a weapon for the military. Pretty good. I don't know. And that's not all, baby. I don't know. Do you want to talk any more on that side of the plot, or should I summarize the other real quick?
No, I mean, I will. The two things I liked about it were, first off, Dean Norris, like you said, he plays it like entirely straight, in a way that works really well, actually, against the rest, which I feel like is the dynamic that usually it's like they need, because there's no real straight guy on the show. They're all ridiculous, and so it's nice when anyone who's grounded comes in and like they're like, we're really worried you're going to use this as a weapon system. And he's like, oh, well, let me put your mind at ease. What we use it for is absolutely none of your business and not your problem. Which is
that was
like
pretty great. But it was like, I think it's part of the reason I like this episode is things like that. Like, not only is that delivery great, but that it's basic. It's like kind of medicine.
Yeah, that is how, yeah.
And that is never really something that's on this show. Like, it doesn't really feel like the stakes are particularly high yet, but that is a moment where it's just like, oh, all right, we're not fucking around. Either we just do, he takes it from us, or we just do it for him, but, oh, this stinks. No, I feel like that's a real, like, genuine point of conflict. So, anything else about this A-plot?
Oh, and then, yeah, the scene that you already described where Sheldon is just making faces as the guy says, like, everybody knows engineers are the best scientists in the world, is pretty good.
Yeah, and like, MIT guys, right? And I love that when Sheldon's friend, he's like, MIT is just a trade school. His railing against engineers is, well, this is a thing, not, well, I guess it is plot consistent, because Sheldon's outburst was, they talked ahead of time about how, hey, your really annoying personality causes problems, so don't let it happen this time. And then in the meeting, because of the casual, not nerd nature of Dean Norris just rattling off, it infuriates Sheldon to the point where he cannot help himself and he ruins it because that's what he does. And it's like, look, that's like, he's not doing anything intentional, but like just his character traits are acting out in a way that is affecting the dynamic of the group. Like, that's good. That's like, I just, I feel dirty when I get like enthusiastic about this show, but I don't know. I really liked this plot. Anything else about that part?
No, that was basically it.
All right. Well, then on to the B side.
Oh, you forgot. I'm sorry. There is one more thing. You forgot the bit at the end, which was ridiculous, but also kind of cute. Yeah. Which is
adorable.
They're basically agree to work at like a classified site near campus, and it turns out that in order to get in, they have to do a retinal scanner, which they are so excited about.
Yeah, and so like the episode ends with them because it's Wolowitz, Leonard, and Sheldon, and it was almost immediately resolved. But Raj is not a part of this, and they're like, "Hey, this is goodbye," and I was like, "Is he just not going to be part of the episode?" And he's like, "Oh no, just think of us as being on the other side of campus," and I felt relief. I did not want that to go that way, and it didn't. But yeah, they start doing, the other three are doing like physical bits. There's a point where like they try to scan one of each of their eyes to see if it can tell they're two people, and it denies them, and they're like, oh my god, it can tell! And then it ends with Leonard and Sheldon like lifting up Wolowitz so he's laying flat on his back so they can test if it recognizes his eyes when he's upside down. And it's like, oh, it does! And like, I love also that just the immediate shift in feeling between what a horrible thing we're doing. I can't believe we've been committed to this terrible project. and all of that just washing away the second they see their cool new gadget that they've always wanted to use. Because that also feels pretty real to me. That's people work for the bad guys all the time because maybe it's evil, but sometimes you get to do cool shit, right? They've got money.
Yes.
Okay, so B plot, also pretty substantial. It is primarily about Penny and Bernadette, and Amy is involved, but she's just kind of on the side. It's so Bernadette is up for some major promotion at work, but she's very anxious because she doesn't want anyone to know she's pregnant, which she is, because that is, she believes, like a guaranteed way of being passed over. She says because that's what's happened to the last lady who was up for it, whom Bernadette spread a terrible rumor about her being pregnant, and she got passed over. So, funny, evil Bernadette. I like that a lot. But now she's in a situation where, someone at work knows. Oh, God, how did that happen? It's probably the lady I ratted out last year. I better go get her. And Penny first lies about it and says she has no idea who it could have been, and then turns around and fesses up and is like, hey, please don't, I don't know, murder that woman or do anything else bad to her, because you are, whenever we get close to you, a real sociopath.
Oh, yeah, at one point she's like, do you think Googling how to become a prostitute on her work computer is going too far?
Yeah, would that be in poor taste? It kicks ass. And so Penny is like, it was me, all right? I did it. And I can't remember why Bernadette became okay with that all of a sudden. I remember that, because even then, Penny initially, tries to play fake.
Yeah, I mean, I think basically what happens is she goes and she confronts her boss about it and wins. So, she plays the I'm a cute little lady, and if it turns out that you screwed up my career because I'm pregnant, I'll sue the shit out of you and I'll win. Yes.
Which, again, Penny is like, oh my God, how could you? And Bernadette's like, that's how it goes, baby. It's like, hell yeah. But also, hey folks, we are on a bit of a time limit today. And so I have to get to this. I have to, but we don't necessarily have to spend a lot of time on it. Because it's during this scene where an exchange happens that left me a little bit slack-jawed. Well, first of all, I forgot there is a moment here. I just got to squeeze in. Amy does interact with Bernadette. At the end of the episode, after Bernadette's all raged out about the whole pregnancy reveal thing, Amy brings her some McDonald's, and Bernadette's, so super miserable. Amy tries to relate by saying, I spent the whole day watching and waiting for a rat to die of anthrax poison. And the audience gets a big laugh. And then Bernadette's follow-up is, oh, are you here to bring me food or just to gloat? And there's a couple ugh. And I was like, that's also great! What is happening today?
Yeah, very clearly I should be the one who is killing rats with anthrax.
Yeah. God, what a great day that would be if I just watched innocent creatures die. And I'm like, that's the Bernadette I want. Sorry, I got so excited that I was knocking around my microphone surface. Okay, now the ghastly thing. With the whole suing thing, Penny, is shocked. And part of what Bernadette's justification is, she says, well, you know what it's like. Being 4'11" and eye level with guys' crotches all the time has taught me that that's where you gotta punch. And Penny says, funny, that's not what I learned. What did Penny learn at 4'11" about being at eye level with guys' crotches? What could that be?
If
she's 4'11" and she's like, I'm supposed to do something with these.
If you're baiting me to speculate, I refuse.
Well, that's why I said we don't have to spend a lot of time on it, because what I'm saying is, it's ghastly.
I also raised my eyes and was like, huh,
That's one where I'm like,
Implications of that.
like Bernadette, like rubbing her hands together in glee, watching rats die. I'm with you all the way. All right, but then Penny with whatever that was. No, guys, weird, weird. Yeah, then that kind of burns itself out, I guess. And yeah, they're gonna follow up with this dang. What happens if there's any more pregnancy stuff, maybe, and what happens with the military contract? Kyle, thoughts, feelings on this thing?
I mean, I think I've noted this before, but maybe we should be grateful that the show isn't actually as good as we would like, because a lot of the time, because when it actually is good, we don't have as much to talk about. We're basically like, hey, remember that bit? That was funny. Yeah, remember that other bit? That was also funny, which is fine, because that's true.
That's what
it's not
people
like
want, though, right? That's
it does appear to be based on a lot of our comments. That
I hope
for
our
me to, like,
audience
soup.
is with us, but no, yeah, people just like, oh, people like the thing I like. Oh, we're all great. Hey, we like this episode, but don't get it wrong. Fuck you. Okay, resolved. But you are right. Like, but you know what? I will say this at least, like, you know, to have to look at the sour side of a really great episode. It's better than just like the totally bland okay episodes. Like, oh look, they made this traditional plot line work in a way that was expected. They delivered. And so this is nice. That said, we should get to our things that we actually like. And if you ever want to hear about more details about things we like, you can check out our Patreon. Patreon.com/TBBTT. That's the Big Bang Theory. TBBTT. So with that, yeah, I think I've got one loaded up, maybe. I don't know. Kyle, do you want to go first or should I?
I'll go first because mine's pretty simple and straightforward.
Okay.
It's a little boring enough at the moment, but I do think it's new enough that maybe everybody hasn't seen it yet. Which is, I watched the new Knives Out movie because I'm obsessed with all of those movies, and it was great. Just like the last two were great. I think actually it was a little... several people are saying it might be the best one, and I'm not sure. I don't think it's as fun a mystery story as the first one was, because the first one was like the most like straight up mystery style mystery of all of them. So I like that part of it, but it is probably objectively like the best in terms of like having like real themes and ideas beyond just like being sort of a protracted episode of Monk or something like that.
Nice. That's a devastating comparison.
I love Monk, okay? Again, I thought Monk was like the best show on television when it was on. But yes, the first Knives Out movie is like a great like classic like, oh, can the detective solve this really weird mystery where the solution seems obvious, but there has to be something more going on. This one has that as well. In fact, even more so. But on top of it, it has this whole like meditation on like the nature of faith, which is really good. Yeah, because it's set in like a Catholic church where a dude's been. Where the pastor was like murdered in a locked room style mystery, and now we have to figure out like who did it. But he was also a dick, so maybe it's good that he's dead. So we have to unpack our feelings about religion at the same time we unpack who the killer was.
Oh, nice. I'm glad that's good. I've also liked them so far. For some reason, I didn't have faith in this new one. I think I was just like, oh, well, it's a third. They've got to dip eventually. So this is great. I'm also going to check it out. Also, what's the title of this one? Because I feel like is Knives Out. Knives Out is still a part of it. They haven't removed that
it's
brand.
I think they call them the title, then a Knives Out mystery. So this one is Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery.
Okay, yeah, that actually sounds more familiar. It's like movie podcasts I listen to have been talking about it. Okay, cool. hey, good rec. So I'm of two minds here. Because one of these I can't remember if I've already recommended. But if I have, I've got a backup. Have I already recommended The Naked Gun, the new one?
Yes.
All right. Well, it's still great. Well, then, I know we've talked about this, but I'm pretty sure I have yet to actually recommend Pacific Drive. And so, hey, I'm recommending that game. And I will also be brief, in part because it's actually a really simple game. And to get like the one big criticism out of the way that I even feel it, but I think if you didn't vibe with it, it might be a sore spot, is pretty repetitive game. And that is because what the game is that, and this is actually my favorite part of it, is it is not like genuinely connected in any way to, the film, book, video game series, etc. Stalker, where there's some sort of weird physics distortion area. Who knows what goes on in there, but we better go find out. Oh, but it's terrifying and mysterious, etc. It's that, except now it is in the Pacific Northwest, the Olympic Peninsula, and you are just a driver, like faceless, nameless, whoever, who is going on a delivery, and accidentally, while near the outer boundary of this exclusion zone, there's some sort of event, and you get sucked in. And then the rest of the game, for most of it thereafter, it's basically a survival game where you are cruising around in like a classic, like late 70s station wagon, which you increasingly fill with cool sci-fi gear and gadgets so that you can maintain your safety in the zone. And you've got a couple other formless buddies that just only appear over radio. Very charismatic characters, fun guys, like genuinely. It feels like my sound of my voice is sarcastic there, but no, like really great. And the game loop, which is pretty clear, that's the repetition part of it, is you go out into the zone, you explore, you try to survive different bizarre physical phenomena, such as like I don't know, weird burrowing things made of electricity that will, kill you if they touch you directly, or will, cause bizarre issues with your car if they zap it. And then trying to scavenge for stuff, improve your car, get further and further into the mystery. And that's it. And it's great. And to wrap up on saying that, like, again, there's the loop. If you don't love it, maybe this is not your thing. But if you are into it, the vibe of this game is like what is overall, like, what really is satisfying about it. Because it is just like a lot of pretty chill driving in gloomy, verdant areas. And this, it's pretty relaxing. There's stress because also it's like, oh no, the nuclear wasteland has suddenly arrived and it's pressing in on me. I better get out of here before it dissolves me and my car. But notwithstanding that, it's pretty chill. And so I highly recommend. But again, if that's your thing. If not, but if it is, ooh, baby. Kyle, gosh, we got to figure out how to play Demon's Souls together.
I'm down. I figured that the part I really wanted you for was I had to fight one of those stupid 2-on-1 fights where if you don't kill the first one. Yes, but I did figure, and I felt like a real pro. I have to say, I see the real benefit of these games is feeling like you have mastered the rules. And so when I figured out I could apply magic slime to my giant butcher's knife and just beat the shit out of the first one before the second one even got a chance to fly on the scene, I was like, this is great. But it would also be good to fight with a buddy.
Yeah, Kyle, it's funny bringing up that fight because I know, because I have beat the game once before, so I know about that fight, and I know not how to master it, but I know how its mechanics work and how to get into it. But that is specifically where my ragdoll wizard, if there are two things on screen, they can't kill him in one hit if he's covered in magic, but they can just bop him around like a little ball. And so I am trying to solve that puzzle myself. I'm glad that you have won, but you're going to say something else.
No, I guess I was going to say, yeah. And now I'm back, I'm in, oh God, what's the name of the capital?
Boletarian Palace.
Yes. Well, I'm not quite there yet because I'm outside and I'm fighting some fuck off big knight with a giant spear whose combo I don't think ever stops. It never stops. I'm in this tiny little, and he just has this endless combo that never stops.
I feel just based on, not a real physical memory. I couldn't describe the picture in anything but dreamlike terms. But on sense memory, I think I know who you're talking about. Is there like a kind of a gauntlet where there's like a bunch of like really low level guys?
Yeah, and you're like, and I was feeling great. I felt like fucking Guts from Berserk. I was just like knocking them away 3 at a time. I was like, yes, daddy's home. And then I walked through the gray portal and I just get like 3-shotted, by this fucking this Final Fantasy Dragoon.
Yeah. No, those are those moments in the game where it's like, am I good at this? Like, I really thought I had this figured out.
Is there any way to be good at this? I think the answer is, again, I think the game really, much more than the others, it expects you to adapt your build on like a boss by boss setting. And so I think the key to that one is to like armor up, because it's a big fuck ass knight with a high, you're never going to be able to dodge all those moves. So you need to just like, be able to tank some hits. So I'm going to try that next, but fuck, is it annoying.
Or, you could be a cool guy and just target it, run backwards, and continuously pelt it with whatever magic you've got.
It's a very small, again, the space is very small and very narrow for a guy with a giant fuck-all spear. So it seems like they don't, maybe I'm supposed to be hiding behind a column, but I'll figure it out. Or I won't, and I'll get frustrated and I'll rage quit and I'll go through another 10-year period where I never touch a Souls-like game. Both are equally possible.
Hell yeah. That's how you know you're a true Souls head. Get on our level. Bye.